Tracing Red, an auditive experience presented by Cine Aruba. The history of Aruba presented in a new way. Listen to the old times. Learn about your heritage. Follow us on Facebook and also at cinearuba.com.
Welcome back to TracingRed Podcast. Now we are going to elaborate a little bit more about building the characters and how to make a podcast. How do you feel about when you're doing your character? You need to also to work, no matter that is about audio, you need to make some expressions with your face. And does it change the voice?
It does. It really does change the voice.
So you answer. That's one thing for you to know, especially when you're doing a podcast, because we are trying to help to understand how to make a podcast. When you're going to answer, come back a little bit and explain a little bit in the beginning, because like, how do you get here? Oh, I got here by bus. No. I was coming here and then I got the bus and I came. That's more of a sentence. That is better for you to answer. Even if you're going to give like an interview, it's cool when you put your perspective. What do you feel about the new season of One Piece? You cannot say, oh, it's good. No. Oh, the new season of One Piece is good. You understand? So, going back. So how, when you're doing, when you're performing as a voiceover actor, how do you put the emotions and how people can understand what are you feeling without looking at you?
The way they get to understand the emotion we're putting into it, and the correlation to having it with your doing it with your face is there's a I don't know. If you try it yourself, you'll notice that there's a difference when you're smiling and talking and then when you're frowning and talking. It's a huge difference a difference that could change much when you're trying to do a voiceover or a radio show-ish. It really matters about how you express when you talk. How you're smiling or you're frowning or your face is disgusted or I don't know.
Because overall, it's like it's still acting, even though it's just a voice. I mean, you're not going to just roll out of bed, make your lines, and that's it. You gotta be real. You gotta express it.
Oh, that's cool. And how do you see yourselves with this new ability that you gather here on this workshop? Do you want to do something with this new art that you learn?
I would love to do something with this new art I learned. I think I've been wanting to dip my toes into it, and now that I have a slight comprehension of how I would do it, I think I'm able to maybe try to get some gigs and some work with the stuff I learned from this workshop.
Certainly.
And you, Kathleen?
Yeah, certainly. I would also like to try out this platform, this talent more. And we need this. We need more Arubians exploring our talents, our abilities.
And since we live on a place that have lots and lots of people following news through radio, and nowadays more than ever through social media, how do you think that our generation can be more present with ideas and with opinions that can be heard?
Huh?
I'm going to use only that to make a music.
No.
But yeah, what I'm trying to get from you guys is like, you see a lot of radio shows, right? That they use the internet and they are talking, but they are using internet, but on the old way of making news, like they are doing a radio show and they just film, and then with this capability that we have nowadays, that you can record with your phone, record with your computer, and then even share and then stream whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about a game, if you want to talk about a film, if you want to talk about the turtles that are being born on the beaches, if you want to talk about how cool is the national park, or talk about what you want for your future with the school system, education. So do you think that there is a big space for people doing their podcast and showing what they think about and discussing no matter what is the subject? But do you think there will be audience for that?
To have, I really, it's hard to say, because not even I listen to podcasts. I think I've tuned into like 2 of them, and I just stopped. So I'm not one to say that people won't listen to podcasts. But in my opinion, I don't think here on this island, especially, it's the people's first option to do. Is there any well-known podcasts here on Aruba that I don't know about?
Just Bahari, I would guess.
Oh, wow, see, that's one of them.
See, it's a good example because the word podcast is a big word, but people do it in a way that we don't think about that, because they are not making news article, they are making in between sketches and also interviews, and sometimes they are discussing, like there is a podcast that have a program on the radio, on the XFM if I'm not wrong, that they discuss political things, they talk to artists. Even the interviews nowadays on all the radios, they follow much more structure of a podcast than a regular radio interview.
I just remembered that I think my mom was tuning into a podcast that they were doing on the radio with one of those government people. They were like asking him questions. I think that was like a few days ago. I'm pretty sure. I guess that's the last time I kicked into a podcast was that one. But before that, it was 6-8 months ago.
No, that's fine, because that shows that there is a place for podcasts. There are some audience willing to watch or even to hear, because you can have a podcast that is also only sound. And podcasts is it's a thing that you listen normally on the computer or on your phone, different than a radio program or a TV program. But at the same time, a podcast can be broadcast on TV or on the radio. But it's mainly made for consumption within computer or telephones that are little computers. So what do you think about having all this technology nowadays and being able to create things like that?
Hello, this is Tracing Red.
Thanks for listening the podcast of Tracing Red, with support from Funds for Culture Participatie, Cine Aruba.